Nisa Ramyun. It's really funny because yesterday I didn't do a video and I found it, I would say quite hard, but there's definitely been more resistance than usual is to press record today. What am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? Maybe I can just do it tomorrow. These thoughts started creeping in, which is really weird because as I've been getting into a flow with this, I guess it's not really been something that I think about, you know, I just hit record, speak whatever comes to mind. But today was different. And I guess it was just one, because I had a little gap, you know, had a day off. Oh no, which I didn't stress about, which is amazing. I wasn't like, oh my god, I didn't do it. I didn't beat myself up, which is something that I've done in the past. So that is a win for me. But yeah, the second thing is, of course, this isn't like a habit for me yet. I haven't built the habit of doing this yet. I'm building it, and it's becoming a lot easier, and it's becoming a lot more second nature. But it isn't something that I find as easy as brushing my teeth, per se. The habit is not yet cemented. So it's been interesting to just kind of pay attention and experience that little dip. Like just having one day off caused so much resistance to doing it the next day. And I realized like, oh, that must be how it is for, I guess, a lot of habits that we try to form. It's like we, usually we pick something up, we say we're going to do it. Just the act of actually starting is hard enough as it is. We get going, then life happens, and we stop. And in that moment of stopping, rather than going again, we let that be the thing that completely stops us, because it allows the thoughts to catch up, I guess. It allows the resistance to come back up, and then we just kind of talk ourselves out of it. Because for me, for example, the reason I didn't record yesterday is because Nisa wasn't well. Not that that's much of a reason, but I do these out of breath walking uphill. Do these videos whilst I'm walking Nisa in the morning, but she wasn't eating, so I didn't take her out. And I was just looking after her, so the video didn't get done. But a rule that I've been trying to live by recently with my habits, because recording and stuff, this video isn't just the only habit that I have. There's a few more that I'm trying to build as well. Damn, that was a workout. And Lisa, not you peeing, that's okay. And the rule that I have is if I miss a day, then I have to commit to doing it the next day, like prioritize it over all the other habits, all the other things I'm doing. If one day is missed, make sure it's not 2 days are missed, because I think the thing about habits, right, is they work both ways. You can form good habits and you can form bad habits, but the day that you miss 2 consecutive days, that's the beginning of you forming a bad habit, or that's the beginning of you forming a habit against, or a habit of not doing the thing, right? So you have to break that and get back to doing the thing. And also recognize that, yeah, it's okay to miss days. Sometimes you will miss 2 days in a row even, but as long as you're aware of why, and it's not because you just literally fucked it off, because, you know, you can't plan for life, and you just pick up where you left off and go on, you know. But I found the younger version of me used to have habits that he'd be trying to form, would have like a checklist, but if ever I saw red, it would stress me out, or I'd feel guilty at the end of the day knowing like I missed 3 out of my 10 habits, and I wouldn't celebrate the fact that I ticked off 7. I would just worry about the 3 that I didn't get and how imperfect it was and how imperfect it was. But now, of course, my mindset is a lot different, and it makes it so much easier when you look at it this way. Like, habit forming can be a fun game. At the beginning, for most habits that you try, it's not going to be fun because it's not something that you it's not something that you do, right? It's outside of your comfort zone. Even if it's something that you know is beneficial for you, or it's something that you enjoy doing, it's just something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. It's still outside of your comfort zone. It's outside of your nervous system's, this is normal to me. So it requires extra mental capacity and energy to do it. Sometimes we don't have that extra mental energy and capacity, Willpower, we think, is infinite resource, but it's not. You wake up with 100%, let's say, willpower, and as you go about your day, that willpower reduces. That's why you will find it's a lot harder to do the thing that you said that you were going to do in the evening than it is to do the thing that you said that you were going to do in the morning, when your willpower is at its highest. So that's another little thing as well, is like, if you've got something hard to do or something that's new, leaving it till the last minute or leaving it till the end of the day is probably not a good idea, because that's when it requires the most willpower and you have the least willpower. So you're making it even harder for yourself. You know, if it is something really that hard for you to do it first thing in the morning. Do it first thing in the morning, no matter what it is, because then as well you start your day with a win, right? If you do the hardest thing first before you do anything else, then one, you start off with the biggest win that you could have accomplished that day, and two, you're downhill from now. It's easier, and it helps because then you haven't really got an excuse in the back of your mind. You know, I've done the hardest thing, everything else is easier from here, let's go. Nisa. So yeah, I've just been reflecting on that, and I guess how I've been feeling about the fact that I didn't do the video today. Nisa, or yesterday. Nisa, come on, Niece. This way. Need to really work on this dog's recall, because she's a little rebel. She's a little rebel. We used to have 3 huskies, so her is the little chihuahua of a pack of 8. We have 5 other chihuahuas, or had 5 other chihuahuas, her included. She was always at the back because she was the smallest, the slowest. So she never really learned good lead control, good callback, anything really. Like if you tug on her lead, she stops. She looks at you like you're a fucking peasant. Like, what are you trying to do here? It's really funny. But now we have this dog that I wouldn't say it's disobedient, but she definitely has a lot of fun. Don't you, Nisa? But she's small and cute, and she can't get very far, and she's really old now, so you just let her get on with it, you know? We just let you get on with it, don't we? Yeah, where are you going? We're not going that way, Nisa. Right, Nisa, wait. Good girl. See, she does know some stuff, but unfortunately sometimes it takes you having to come to her to take her under. Let me just fix this up, make sure that's still going. It's now holding this funny. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so just reflecting on how I've been feeling about missing this day of video recording, and I guess like just a little medal to myself, like, yo, you didn't beat yourself up for missing it. It did, I'm not gonna lie, the guilt did try and creep in, but I banished that shit to the shadow realm. I was like, no, this is fine. It's just one. And the compromise I made is I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it later if I feel up to it, which I didn't, to be honest. I didn't feel up to it, hence why it didn't get done. But again, I was not worried about that whatsoever, and it all worked out for the best. So today we're just gonna keep moving. Yeah, and maybe gonna start dog training Nisa because she needs it. And you know, something else as well is what that I just wanted to say is I woke up. Obviously, I use the Whoop health monitor to say Whoop, but like you can see it, kind of can now, to track my health, I guess, metrics, sleep, recovery, calories burned, steps, HRV, respiratory, all of the stuff, all the good stuff. But I woke up this morning and I was in a green recovery, which, okay, it doesn't sound so significant on its own. It was 97% out of 100, which is actually phenomenal for recovery, obviously. It means my body pretty much fully recovered from the day. But what is significant about waking up today on a green recovery is I've woken up 7 days in a row now on green recovery. Today being Wednesday, that means I've been to the gym 3 times. One of those gym sessions, I burned like 2,800 calories and pushed myself harder than I've ever pushed myself before. And then I've had quite an active week overall as well. So it's like, oh shit, I'm here. My body's fully recovering. but I'm still pushing myself, which is amazing. I guess it's a signal that I'm doing the right things recovery wise, because I was having this interesting conversation with a business that we're looking to work with, about one of our events, and I was just saying, like, I was explaining to him the whole concept of sound baths basically, and how they help with recovery. And when it comes to wellness, we often think that we need to be active, we have to be doing something. It's like fitness, which, yes, it is an important part, but we overlook another pillar of wellness, which is rest and recovery. And that is even just as important, if not more so, than the doing part. Because if you are just doing all the time, well, eventually you burn out, eventually you wear out, eventually you get sick. Your body can't keep, like, if you went to the gym every day and trained the same muscles every single day, what would happen? Well, you'd fatigue and you wouldn't be able to lift anything. But obviously they say, put rest days in between. Why? So your muscles can recover. But yes, this is true for the muscles as much as it is true for your body, as it is true for your mind, as it is true for your soul. We have to start resting in more ways than just what we think is rest, which is closing our eyes and getting into bed. That is just one version of rest. There's actually 7. And if you neglect just one of those 7, well, eventually your health starts to pay for it, your wellness starts to pay for it, your life starts to pay for it. So I think hitting the 7 days, I guess, recovery for me is just been a testament to my recovery's on point. My recovery must be on point, because it's not like I'm just not doing anything with my days and literally more active than I've probably been for a very long time, and I'm able to hit it. So I think when we do go to the gym, something that we actually do religiously is that the gym, one of the reasons we signed up for this gym, particularly Graft House, is because they have a sauna, and after every workout we jump in the sauna for at least 20 minutes. Pearls doesn't, but I do. I have a cold shower afterwards for at least a minute. My record is 3 minutes, but that was just once when I was feeling brave. So that we found is really helping with our recovery as well. Like, I've come out of the shower sauna situation and I feel fresh. The next day I wake up and I've got like no soreness, and it's like, have I worked out? But it's because I'm prioritizing the recovery afterwards, and saunas and cold showers amazing for that. And then something else that I've been practicing, I guess, for a week, which is another sign, is I've actually extended how much time I read in bed. So usually how the last things that I do go is I will journal, I'll put in my earplugs, I'll put on my nose tape, I'll put on my mouth tape, and then I'll pick up a book. At the minute I'm reading Game of Thrones, and I'll just read that, but I usually read it for about 20 minutes or like one chapter. But something that I experimented with on the weekend was I read like 3 chapters, and I noticed that reading for a prolonged period of time, because I checked the statistics on my Whoop afterwards, it allowed my body to drop into the level of, I guess, activity that was akin to if I was sleeping, but this was while I was wakeful. So I was in that like dreamlike state where my stress score was very low, my parasympathetic dominance was high, and my body was basically prepared for sleep before I had even closed my eyes. And that's the ticket for, and not just me, but I think everyone. I think that's where we have to get into before we get into bed. Ideally, what we try and do is, say we're up here, we go from up here to in bed, hoping that the bed is going to be the thing that resolves us and gets us down to here. And yes, it does when we eventually do fall asleep and the body calms down, but we're using bed as a trigger or a signal to our nervous system that, hey, it's time to rest now, when actually we can start the process a lot sooner. And what I found this week is, by doing that, not one, I'm having a better sleep, but 2, I'm waking up more recovered, which means, of course, what recovery relates to is more mental capacity, more energy, more presence, more vitality. And that's exactly how I've been feeling this week. So I'm going to be doing more of that. I think I can help a few more things which I'm going to experiment with, but I won't go into too much detail now. But so far so good. Let's see if I can get an 8th day of green recovery. That would be awesome. But we are going to the gym today. It is going to be the end of week 3 of our dopamine detox. Next week is going to be our last week, and then I guess we're going to do a little check-in and see how it went, how it's been going, and if we want to carry it on. Super excited.